Zach Lego here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Danganronpa. We are here, continuing right where we left off. It is time for the 4th class trial. I'm actually pretty freaking excited for this, because this is the first class trial so far in this game, where I honestly have really no damn clue what's going on. I'm excited to see what it actually is. I don't know who the frick the killer could be, because I'm going to start this off by going through the characters to see what I think it is. So, it's not Makoto, that's obvious. Byakuya, I don't know, because he was invited by Sakura. He says he didn't go, which honestly, I agree, I think I freaking agree with that, because beforehand, he constantly, intentionally, stay away from Sakura. He never wanted to go even, an inch next to her. So I don't see why he would have gone, so I don't think it's Byakuya. Next up, we got Hiro. Kind of suspicious, honestly, because when we were talking, the piece of a candy wrapper fell, which means he would have gotten it from Sakura from meeting her, which means he went to meet Sakura, which he's lying about. So that's interesting. Kyoko isn't the freaking killer. Hina, I don't know about that. I don't know. So it's kind of just okay. So it's either Hiro, Hina, or Toko. I don't think it's Makoto. I don't think it's Byakuya. I don't think it's Kyoko. So it's either Hiro, Hina, or Toko. Because I don't know, Toko said she didn't go. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll find out. Anyways, class trial time. I'm gonna keep my eye on them three. See if any of them say anything sweet.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can, then I'll punish now.
We already know who did it.
Hina, shut up.
Whoa! Deja vu.
Hina, you're already one of my, you're on, the list of, who might be the killer. You should probably stop talking.
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro.
And again, two of the other people that I was expecting on it.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah! I'd never kill someone, no way!
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
You always seem sure that one of those three is the killer. Unless there's some reason to believe it. I wonder why. Is it because the things literally told us during the frickin' investigation? Jesus, Makoto, take your brain. Use your brain.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
Bing bong.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have for accusing us?
No, don't block.
That's low. That's about as low as you
Just
can
block
get.
that freaking those stupid
It was one of you killed.
And what reason did
Because you hated her.
Is that it?
That's the only reason you have for accusing us?
There we go.
No,
Didn't get
it's
blocked.
wrong.
I did it.
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those three killed her.
Can't disagree with Hina. There's good reason to suspect all three of them. Does that mean one of them did it? Pocket trail. Okay, now.
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never saw...
No,
That's
it's wrong.
That's a lot of cap right there. I'm sniffing out some cap and Hero's down the direction.
Hiro, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's...
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura. It's the only explanation.
Well, I mean... Yeah, sure I got it from her, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
When? When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
The hero said can't be right. The Sakura could only have gotten Hina after the incident in the nurse's office. She didn't know that for sure. It was... Sakura got the...
I got it! I'm not sure about that, Hiro. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office. So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Damn it! I mean, what I meant was, oh, that's right! I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
So you're just saying that now?
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You are hostile.
It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message.
You're a shining message indeed.
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right? It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayako.
Wait a second. One, that isn't a dying message. I already said there's no blood in Sakura's hands. That she was gonna break up. Two, Hiro wouldn't have seen that message because keep in mind he wasn't allowed in the crime scene. So how in the freak did he see that dying message?
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it!
What are you saying? No way! How did you do it?
You just don't know when you're beat, do you?
Hiro, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Exactly.
Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
It was hidden away on the magazine shelf and you were not allowed in the crime scene. So how
But
did
if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime, so it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Hold on. When Coco found the magazine with the dying message, and it was on the magazine shelf.
I got it!
There's no way he would have seen it.
Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
Definitely something strange about it. We'll find a dying message during the investigation in this case. It quick contradicts what Hiro told us. Obviously. Is Hiro the killer though? Like, this is really early into the trial. It's like really early into the trial.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
It might be the thing with the magazine shelf. I'm gonna try this first.
I can tell you exactly when I found the when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when it was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine. When I pulled it out,
Like that one.
what's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
I can tell you exactly when I found the when Ogre's body was discovered.
Here we go.
No, that's wrong.
It was one of those things that had to go with that.
When Sakura's body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it, after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Tell us the truth, Hiro. When did you see the message?
Hold on! You're focusing on the wrong part! Why does it matter when I saw it? All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is! Toko!
I don't even know where to begin with that one. He's just trying to confuse us.
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Yeah. I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%! Without a doubt, she wrote it! And this is me talking, so you know it's true!
I had doubt, no, actually, don't do doubt it. There's no way Sakura did that. There's no blood on it. We gotta do a battle here. Okay, hold on.
Show me the proof! I'm at least 30% right! The occult is bullcrap!
Let me check. There's one thing you really need to know. Let me see. Fever times space key. Yes. Fever times space.
Give it a rest! I'm at least 30% right! The occult is bullcrap!
I can just freaking do this now.
The end is nigh! Show me the proof. Can't hear you, can't hear you! The occult is bullcrap!
Gotcha.
Show me the proof.
This should prove it.
They should prove it. Nicole still sounds like a freaking 5th grader.
I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote that dying message. Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. But both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Say what?
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Okay. Thanks for
He
admitting.
admits it!
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her!
Okay then. You're making me killing her.
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
And when I got there,
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Like a piece of candy, it might help give you some energy. Sure, thanks.
that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me. She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out and I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
Okay, that's one of the blows, but there's 2 blows. Keep in mind.
You're not
There's a
gonna get
second
off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did
My
it.
god, Hina, calm the
No,
frick down.
I think there's more to Hiro's story.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain, and until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
That's okay, Hero did that. Doesn't make sense. What it would have had to do after running the message doesn't make sense. Why it was hidden.
I got it!
I think if you want to
That's
see
true.
the message, why was it hidden?
Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it? By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh, well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
He's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine,
Must be Toko, right?
they must not have liked what was written on it.
Toko, there's only one choice. Yeah, Toko.
I got it! It had to be Toko, right? Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Was he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
Why would I have... Wait! But more important, that doesn't even matter! We already know who did it, right? Hero just admitted
I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
Freaking crap and stuff.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious. That's just... I don't believe it.
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
We're gonna reach the end of the case to say he wasn't the killer, and I have to prove that. Gotcha. This is the examination summary, because that told us.
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once.
There you go.
No, it's wrong.
If you only hit her once, then why was there 2 wounds on her head? And technically, that was 12 before.
If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles. Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right? And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
Origin between the Monokuma bottles feel like it's become clear. Next must be its object the Monokuma figure inside the holding. The chess piece? Is that what it is? The chess piece? Yep. I need a C. That's an E. I need a C. That's a C. I need an E. I need an S. E. Where's the E? Another E. There we go.
Now I understand. That's it! The chess pieces! Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh! So the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while 1 apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah! Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Wait, then the bottle was missing. It was broken.
I got it!
Because of the little
The
experiment.
bottle must have been broken
What makes you so sure?
because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
There was a single broken bottle and evidence that proves that it's broken material that before. The experiment that we did. Experiment.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime, but someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces, which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
We don't know that the second missing molecule bottle involved in this case must have been used by the second attacker.
I got it!
Exactly.
The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am. Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room. Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
It's not ridiculous at all. I mean, proof that shows Toko's not in the rec room. I have it, she left it there for anyone to find. You've probably been pressing the left mouse button during the final strike without a second thought. From now on, you'll have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Now you have to choose the proper truth bullet to use during your quip digress. You'll select it the same way as during the non-stop debate. Simply press the Q button or use the mouse wheel. Also select the debate if your logic difficulties at the time or do both. For educational purpose, we'll run to pretend you're set to mean regardless, just like once, okay? By the way, you're about halfway through the game. We're only halfway through the game now. Great. Okay, we're only halfway through the game now. Wow, that's terrible. Anyways.
It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough!
Lock her handprint. Lock her handprint. Lock her handprint. Lock her handprint. Shoot it, shoot.
This should
There
prove
we
it.
go. Maybe I should use Q on that, because that took a freaking using the mouse wheel took a long time to shoot.
Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker? They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking. Does his handprint look familiar, Toko?
It doesn't.
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up, right?
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Then you killed Sakura!
No, I swear, there's no...
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
Straight up again.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on, so I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back, upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw that blood, I fainted right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
Very
Guess it's that!
It was your fault after all.
My fault! Master's fault! When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights!
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories, so I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack, no problem!
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on. That's, but anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre. So that's good.
good. Keep talking again.
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
Okay, we're not ready to vote yet. There's still a lot of stuff left. I thought for sure you have some words for Hero on
What's
that one.
wrong? Come on, everyone. We're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
There's still a lot of stuff we didn't use.
No, not quite yet.
Because technically, if that was it, then why did Sakura vomit blood? Why did Sakura vomit blood? Why is there a powder on her shoes? And something else with the powder. Why is there so much powder just on the floor in the chem lab? What's the point of the freaking protein shake on the crime scene? What's with the blood? What's like? I'm assuming the blood stain in front of the magazine shelf.
Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd? Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it. Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
Not over yet, is it? Until Sakura is. Okay, so it's not Hiro. So where in my list is this Hina or Toko? So if it's not Toko, then it has to either be Hina or I have no clue what's going on. status of Sakura's body?
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf!
No, killed her in front of the shelf. Why is her body on that chair? That would make sense.
We found Sakura sitting upright in a
Also,
chair.
something else to keep in mind, we still also have no damn clue how the locked room mystery occurred. Why was the room locked when we first found her body?
If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
It has to be it. The evidence that she was attacked from the magazine shelf was the blood from the magazine shelf.
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stained by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me! I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors! There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that!
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
But
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, nah. Even though Toko's not in the locker because I saw it for myself.
I got it! Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know! What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How did you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying!
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
Does that mean Hina's the killer? Because from like the list of people out of could be killer list, it was Hiro, Toko, and Hina. It's not Hiro and Toko. That means Hina's the killer. But then why would Hina kill her best friend? That doesn't make any sense to me. That wouldn't make sense why Hina would just kill her friend like that. I don't know.
Well, I can't imagine what else could have
Once
killed
again,
her.
she's been rushing the road.
That's
like this
because
entire
you're
time as well.
overlooking vital information.
We'll be missing something so important. There's another possible explanation maybe. We're going to figure out the whole thing with the powder, the protein cancer that's at the crime scene, and the locker room mystery. And why she vomits blood.
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
No,
What?
wrong.
Why did she do that? I don't know.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottle, she cut the inside of her mouth.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
That
Poison?
makes sense for the powder that was stolen.
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knee! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the...
You can explain it?
Of course.
Everyone, quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? And I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Well, poison doctor just sure I know where he got it. Seems shelf and supplements. Hey,
I got it! The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? But you just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean this.
I can't believe my eyes. Becca put the bottle of poison to his
Huh?
lips.
Master!
So shocked at what we were seeing. All we could do is stand there and watch. If it were the most natural thing in the world, Doctor was as calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
You could take the bottle from Bianca and grab out and grab the contents with one finger. Put your finger through the
It's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder.
So now they're starting to think they switched out the poison for protein. So that means if there's protein in the poison bottle, that means the protein bottle that was at the crime scene had the poison in it. Good. Got it. Understand it.
Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did...
Well, poison was actually filled with protein powder. And I can't remember the poison must have been in protein. Protein drink, not shake.
Now I understand! The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched, so the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
At the scene. Protein drink.
I got it!
Protein restriction.
You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
No?
He gave it to her.
I I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
Would you like to educate us?
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
The footprints?
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point.
Technically, if he is pointing at the footprints, we saying the footprints is what the killer is and all that. There's still so many things, like, so now we know why she's found in blood. Keep in mind, the same colored powder that was, the same colored poison powder that was spilled on the ground in the chem lab was also found on top of Sakura's shoe. Why is that a thing? 2, how did the locked room thing happen and all that? I don't know how the frick that happened. And 3, when we were investigating, why was the protein canister, why was there, like, broken glass underneath the protein thing? It shouldn't be any underneath, because that's how we broke the glass. It should be above. I don't know, those 3 things still need to be answered.
They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
Am I correct? Okay, was that right? Was it Hina?
It was me. The footprints. They're mine.
Okay, so does that mean it's Hina?
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Ogre's killer was...
Yep, I did it. I killed Sakura.
Okay, so first it was Hiro. He said he killed Sakura, and I was like, no, you didn't. It was Toko. Toko was like, okay, yes, I killed Sakura. And then we were like, no, it isn't. It is Hina. Okay.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Because I like people wearing sneakers are...
I got it! Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
That's why he asked.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe
There's
it.
so many questions, like, there's still so many other things that we need to solve. That can't be it. Also, just ask, if, like, in this situation, just ask Hina, like, if you're the killer, how the hell did you create the locked room? Because how is the locked room created?
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That too. It's like, if Hina's gonna kill somebody, it's gonna be Byakuya. If Hina's gonna kill somebody, it'll be Byakuya. Why would she just randomly freaking kill her best friend? That wouldn't make sense.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink, but when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
Now wait a minute. If you're saying that she's switch out the protein powder, she would have had to go through Section A and Section C. If that's true, why is there only footprints in front of Section A? There aren't any footprints in front of Section C. And let's say she went to Section C and then knocked over the poison thing. It's like, oh, it's all over the floor. Still, she would have had to go from Section C to Section A, but there's no footprints proving that. Only footprints in front of Section A, which means Hina never even went to Section C, which means Hina isn't the killer. But then that proves this thing. If Hina isn't the killer, then who the hell is the killer? Who is the killer if it isn't? I don't know.
And then she drowned it all at once. And then
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
Thank you, Kyoko.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves, just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Exactly. Ask Hina how the frick she made that thing.
Hina, if you really are the
Thank you,
killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
well, that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
She's pushing it aside. She's trying to ignore that.
No,
That's interesting.
it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not. Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
Yes! Yes! That is what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Yes, I can doubt it. Freaking idiot.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious. Too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please.
Matters a lot.
I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Let me take a break real quick here. I want to think who the frick the killer could be. Because if it's not Makoto, it's not Byakuya, it's not Kyoko, it's not Hiro, it's not Toko, it's not Hina. Then it's no one. Or it could be a suicide. She could have killed herself. That doesn't explain the locked room mystery, because that just means Sakura locked the room and then drank the poison herself. That also explains why that powder was on her shoe, because she was the one who actually got the poison. She spilled the bottle, and some of it got on her shoe. That does make sense. Sakura could have just killed herself.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem
I
lab.
actually might be right about that. It might just be a suicide.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder.
there.
And that's
Look at
where
that.
I switched them.
She said she went from Section C to Section A, yet the footprints do not prove that.
Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Even Makoto's like, these footprints aren't adding up, my guy.
Yeah.
That's true. Isn't that a little strange? See, even Makoto has a little bit of a brain in there. Even he knows that the footprints are weird.
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
Like, Hina, tell us what happened. Oh yeah, I did this. Okay, good. Tell us that one more time. Okay, yeah, sure, I did this. Okay, great. Just tell me that one more time.
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're
The funny
satisfied?
part about this is Byakuya is freaking wrong. This is the first time this whole game that he's wrong about something. That's pretty fun. How long? Until I figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of this case. Footprint. Footprints and powder. Footprints and powder. I already know. Footprints and powder.
First, I went to section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from section C to
No, you
section
freaking did it.
No, that's wrong.
Did not do that.
You said you went to get the poison from section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from section C to section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from section C to section A.
Exactly.
That contradicts what you just said.
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movement?
No, that can't be it. Remember what
She
Hina just said?
she was clumsy and didn't realize she was leaving footprints. Why would you all of a sudden be like, I need to be careful not to leave these footprints? Doesn't make any sense.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to section A. So you never went to section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved section A.
Well,
What the hell? What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account. Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this. It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle.
I know. Okay, so that's glass from when we broke the window. Which means when we first broke the window, this bottle was in the crime scene. I mean, this bottle was in the crime scene when we first were there. That makes sense, because that's glass from the record window. When we shared the window, this poison bottle was at the crime scene. And then Hina saw the poison bottle, she took it to the chem lab, switched it out for the protein canister, placed the protein canister at the crime scene, which then explains why there's glass underneath the protein canister, because Hina placed it there after we broke into the crime scene. That makes sense. It makes sense. All of this makes
And the
sense.
hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder.
This is suicide.
I
This is
couldn't have
suicide
solved the
all
mystery
time.
without you.
I actually know what the frick's going on
So,
now.
thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then, Makoto, why don't you explain it, huh?
Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
Window.
Got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
what's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
There's at the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the looking window. Hina, it should have been on section 8.
I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Hold on, you're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here.
Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't?
She can say that is because there's evidence. She said someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was open. Protein drink is the glass underneath
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there before the wreck.
No,
you're wrong, Jack.
You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it...
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched. And as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
That's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison?
Because it was a suicide.
I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was?
Also explains how she died, because before I was saying how the frick did anybody kill Sakura? Answer, nobody killed Sakura, Sakura killed herself.
Such a ridiculous fiction is...
The only person powerful enough to kill Sakura is Sakura herself.
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Sakura because of the little...
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
Nope.
What do you think, Makoto?
Nah. When we got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room, it had to have been Sakura.
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
I'm not lie, Sakura definitely went to Section C. Kyoko already showed me the evidence, and I have to hit Hina with that and make her accept it. There's a battle. This is the third one! 3 of these! 3 of these! Jesus frickin' Christ.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
Excuse me. Oh, did I take that one?
This should prove
I
it.
thought it was gonna switch. I thought it was freaking like powder. I thought there was 2 different suits. Like yellow powder and powder.
Did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison, because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her.
I killed Sakura. Sakura and the poison, and unsolved mystery in the locked room. There's one way to explain it. The person who killed Sakura was Sakura.
Here's my answer.
The person who murdered Sakura was Sakura.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
Because of course, Sakura wanted to do that.
I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room. And at that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door because you already knew Sakura was dead and because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
Yeah, technically, if your best friend just died, you wouldn't just ditch them. Even if it's just they're dead, you wouldn't just leave them. You'd sort of being upset and you would mourn over the loss. You would just be like, okay, I'm gonna go get her.
You said you were going to go get but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
Exactly.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room, while everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence. The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence. And yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No! I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is! Actually, no. You have to end this properly.
Close. My favorite part of this. Okay, starts off, Sakura goes to the room. And he was like, oh, no, talking like, oh, I got help me, Yaku. He's like, also got help. And the first word, Toko walked in, and I was like, oh, frick, I need to hide here. Then she was like, okay, hide along. I don't want to go out and shit. So then that's when Hiro pulled up, and I was like, oh, yeah, here came. And he was a little worried. He was like, oh, no, he's gonna kill me. Oh, frick, that's just which one? The queen was missing. And he was like, oh, I need to, oh no, I think I killed her. And he was like, oh, I gotta put Toko's name on here. Make someone Toko killed her. And he was like, I gotta get the frick out of here. And then Toko saw him. I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave for a while. And then she was like, oh, frick. Oh, somebody wrote my name on it. And I gotta put it away. And she was that's when this happened. He's like, oh no, blood! And the fast sent him back. He's like, I'm here now. Oh, what the frick are you doing? Oh, fast. Oh, what's the problem? And she wanted my cleaned up some pieces and got the frick out of there. And then Sakura woke up and was like, okay, I'm gonna plug down this woods real quick. And they're like, oh, no, Sakura's body. Oh, no, oh, no, her body. And he was like, oh, there's a bottle here.
The killer is you! This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. Toka. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot.
Ah, frick, that just came up. Okay, that's fine. It's all good. I went backwards. They look similar. It's fine. They look similar. That's my fault. Okay, let's switch these around real quick. Switch them around. It's all good. There we go.
The killer is you!
Now it's correct. They look similar. That's the only reason I got
But one of them, she got there.
I was so correct about her hiding the locker.
And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight.
Watch.
Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro.
I feel like Sakura should have noticed, like, weird eyes staring at her from the locker, right?
When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him. So he... Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear,
This entire case could have been stripped up if Hiro actually used Sakura's hand to write that. Because then he could have left the blood on her finger, and we would have all been like, okay, focus go. And that could have like fricked up everything.
she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened. Knew that she had committed suicide.
Also, I just realized, if she killed herself and there's no killer, why are they like bringing out Hina? Are they about to freaking execute Hina for this, or what? They're like freaking bringing her out as if she was the freaking killer.
And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort...
It was, And that's the job done. I thought this
was you,
kinda was.
That's the full truth of the case. Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But Makoto, how did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean...
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case. See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
Done. Let me look at his grade real quick. A. Perfect. Perfect. I got 101 medals from that. 101.
Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point.
Who's getting executed? Are they gonna execute Hina? Or are they just gonna execute...
Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah. That's right.
You seriously forgot? I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice anyway. You just gotta do it. Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote. So, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Monakumo's even upset because he's like, I don't get to fucking execute anybody. God damn it. That means I'm not executing Hina because Monakumo's acting like he's like, I can't even fucking execute somebody. God damn it. So then who's... Are we just gonna have no execution? Or is he gonna be like, yeah, Sakura killed herself, and then just he leaves and then just like go back to her room? Or what's happening now?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna kill Sakura with Sakura.
My
Okay, we're
entire...
done here.
What did you say?
Trying to see. So one thing I don't
Come on.
You know, why did you try to cover up what happened? If the truth hadn't come to the light, you would have died along
What are
with
you
the rest of us.
thinking?
Yet why'd you do that?
Don't be
You
mean!
almost died there.
What is
That's exactly what I wanted. What? And the reason Sakura died is because you pushed her into a corner. You all killed her. That's why
You should have been the one to
you
die.
died.
What?
You don't mean you were gonna take us all with you? We have to atone for our sin because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We don't have to pay for our crimes. Serious,
What
that's.
is this?
I don't understand. Let me explain. Do you realize how much despair Sakura was carrying with her when she died? Look at this. Such brutality has made me desperate. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own terms. That's found on the ground in front of the rec room. It's Sakura's suicide note. Suicide note. Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. Right after Jensei Jacket attacked me, Sakura got mad and stormed out of the nurse's office. I ran out after her. Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me. I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault after all. But now you're suffering because of me.
No forgiveness!
You tried to protect me, but because of me,
I can't
both your
forgive.
friend got hurt. Sakura, because of me, your friends are all going to kill each other. It's all my responsibility. Sakura thought she was responsible. She thought everything was her fault, which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. So she asked to meet with them. You have to meet with those three? You can't. Don't you see how dangerous that is? Don't worry. I just want to talk to them. Talk about what? Listen, don't do it. If they all gang up on you at once, even Hina, please don't think of things like that. They're not my enemies.
They're friends.
Sakura. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood she was a friend to all of us. And yet...
Why?
You trampled all over her feelings, and then you did the unthinkable. That was just a misunderstanding.
What are you saying?
Who stand there and called it a misunderstanding? She believed in you, and you wouldn't even listen to what she had to say. Asking a single question, you tried to kill her.
I won't
Do you
forgive
have any
you.
idea how desperate she was, seeing you act like that? That's what her suicide note means, so instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it.
Why?
That's how far you pushed her.
Huh?
Sakura, what happened to you?
Hina.
You know, you came. Hey, right here, I'll help you out.
Hina.
Huh?
Huh?
I
I'm so glad I got to meet you. What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking like that?
have a
to
favor.
ask.
Huh?
Favor.
Some
I'd like
protein.
to ask you to... Yeah, you got it. Just hang on, I'll be right back. That was the last conversation we had with her. I went to the chem lab to get the protein she asked for. When I got there, I saw the powder. That's when I realized I saw that someone had taken something from the poison shelf. Sakura. I went back to the rec room as fast as I could, but by the time I got there, I was already too late. Sakura!
Please!
Come in, please open the door.
Why? Why?
Why'd she have to die? She had weaknesses, just like any other person. She got cut, she bled. If someone hurt her, she felt it. That's weakness, it's normal. And yet, I
Why?
all blamed her. I tried to protect her and I suffered for it, and that just added to the weight that she had to carry. I didn't even realize it. We killed her, all of us. Pushed her into a corner and we murdered her.
Why?
I didn't. Me and Kyoko are still innocent, I'm just saying. People like her shouldn't be allowed to live. I'm That's why you tried to lead us astray. You did your best to make us arrive at a wrong conclusion during the class trial. Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted to free her of her regrets. Even that got found out in the end. I wasn't able to do anything for her. I could never face her after this.
Hey! Hey!
Turn up to you, well, you're about to deliver the final tearjerker, but
Hey!
it's taking so long. You want to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really think you have any idea what Sakura was actually thinking when she died?
What is this?
You say. Everything you just said is nothing but your interpretation, right? You don't think one of her suicide notes.
What are you saying?
I didn't know what she was thinking, because her and me.
In other words,
I'm really trying to say is,
yes,
I think
indeed.
the entire foundation is shaky. What if it was really like this?
What the heck?
What's that?
Of course.
Obvious?
Yep.
Suicide note. Sakura suicide note. Oh, but Hina already.
Too bad.
I wrote that one. Okay, so that's just freaking cheating. This isn't freaking Hina's fault. This isn't Hina's fault. Monokuma wrote a false suicide note and placed it on the crime scene. He knew that placing that suicide note would make Hina react this way. Yet he still. That's tampering with the crime scene. That's not freaking fair. He can't freaking tamper with the crime scene. That's not fair.
It's true.
It's the one Sakura dressed Hina and put in the room. Huh? But then you lied to me?
Unbelievable.
Don't say why. It makes it sound so dirty. I just thought I'd liven things up a bit.
Well now.
My little scribble with face value. Even have Sakura signature on it. Filthy. Filthy. Didn't do anything. Falsified evidence that affected the outcome of the class trial. The case played out between you and you alone. You were the one jerking each other around. But even if the will had factored it still would have been between you guys. The problem is all part of the production process. Okay, and scene cut.
And?
Now what did she write in her will since that night?
What are you gonna do?
So yes, for your benefit, I shall read it using my mediocre, angelic, harmonic narrative.
Hey!
But no, having you ever been curious about the whole suicide note thing? You know, the idea of leaving a note when you kill yourself in the first
But
place.
hold
Is
on.
it just so unfortunate killing yourself was just so final? You can never hear the rest of their story. The truth is lost in darkness. Give me the willies.
Enough already.
The willies. Begin with it, please.
Yes,
Okay,
indeed.
geez, how about a buzzkill? Alright, here we go.
Hmm.
My good friend Hina, there's something I have to tell you. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. It's my final wish.
As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here.
Okay, you're just gonna read the first line and if not read the rest. It's the first night at the strange school that the mastermind came
You
to see
see,
me.
the mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool.
I don't see the importance of a dojo, but my family had watched over it for 300 years.
I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch. So even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things.
However, that was my greatest weakness, and because of that, I made the mistake of giving into the mastermind.
And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder.
They were probably worried that until the first murder had happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaga. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off, to wait until we reached another stage.
However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken.
Watching everyone fight with such despair, trying to desperately stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart, the mistake of succumbing to the mastermind. More than
I
anything,
cannot betray those who would call me their friend.
that's how I came to feel. That's why Sakura.
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat. No longer compromise.
That's why I
I've made.
Yeah. Of course, because of that, I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her. This isn't to say true to all of you, led directly to all of you hating her. Ironic, isn't it? Maybe oxymoronic, or just moronic?
Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness.
I'm perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to make of
So
me.
this is my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind.
Unfortunately, it's not enough. This won't end with just me accepting your hatred.
My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me, which is exactly what the mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal.
Joe brought suspicion and disharmony. Mastermind knew that eventually it would escalate into someone murdering someone else.
Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well.
I have an obligation to get this situation under control. To fulfill the obligation, I've decided to do as the mastermind has commanded. I'll do as I was told and commit
But I've
murder.
decided The one I'm going to kill is myself.
Master demands that I kill someone, that someone will be me. My dojo will be safe, and above all else, none of you will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that, I'm willing to give up
If
my
it can
life.
save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
I never had people like you in my life.
Huh?
And Sakura didn't feel cornered. She didn't die.
No way!
Trying to stop us from fighting to protect us.
Correct.
She didn't end her own life because she was weak. Quite the opposite, in fact. She was strong. Too strong. That's why she killed herself. She chose death for herself in order to protect the rest of us. She sacrificed so much, no normal person could do that.
However,
It was only her limitless strength that made it possible.
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially.
The reason I didn't tell you any of this is because I knew you would try to stop me. I'm really, truly sorry, but please don't be sad. If I can thwart the Mastermind's plans, if I can keep you from killing each other, that's enough for me. This is the plan that I have chosen. This is the only way I have left to distinguish myself. You can use this note to bring the class trial to a quick end. So sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest to you. Please talk to Byako, Toko, and Hiro on my behalf. I can't tell anyone about my plan while I'm alive, but I want you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end, though, I hope to show myself through actions and not words. Hopefully then they'll see.
I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible, Hina. Whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else.
I know this is like an intense topic. This is supposed to be nice and sad. Watch Hina die next year. Watch Hina die in chapter 5. Watch her die in the very next chapter. Sakura's like, Hina, come on, stay alive. You got this. Survive till the end. And then Hina dies in the next chapter. That would be funny, but
No matter
I don't
what,
want that to happen.
just survive.
But
This is I didn't understand how she felt, not at all. Like, we were close and still.
What are you gonna
And then
do?
all her meddling was like totally pointless. You died so you guys wouldn't try to kill each other, but you all almost ended up doing it anyway. Thanks to her, death had no purpose at all. It was because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you nearly bit the big one.
Too bad.
She deserves all the blame, especially everyone blame her. Go ahead, she deserves it. Now the next victim has been decided. What do you mean next victim? Nobody here blames anyone. First of all, you're in the wrong for tricking Hina with that fake suicide note. And plus, Sakura's death
Say
was a
what?
waste. Because we must remember, we're not enemies that hate each other. We're friends who need to work together.
You know?
Damn straight. All because of our misplaced.
Well?
I don't blame her. I can't blame her. Nobody can blame Hina either. What? Whether or not there was a spy never really mattered. Because the one we need to destroy is you, nobody else.
What do you
Heck, I know
want?
how this is supposed to go. Wait, are you sure about that? This killing game is a competition between all of you, remember?
Hey!
Our enemies each other. I actually read about that.
Phew!
Lovely Byako, you understand, don't you? So I think that's elimination match. The only way to survive is to win. There's no doubt that those are the rules of the game. Which is why I am bowing out of the game. Huh?
Naturally.
Sakura and Hina are both going to sacrifice their own lives to deny the reality of the game. Thanks to them, I would fear the others have to cast aside their fears.
Don't make me repeat
No longer
myself.
participating in a game which has lost that sense of excitement. Which is why I will no longer be participating. What? What's going on here? Now I have only one thing to look forward to.
It's all clear.
And that is to keep the harshest possible punishment for anyone who thinks they can control me. Remember, does this mean? Some thoughtless country. That's everything. Where master goes, I go. If the master goes up to be a guy, then you gotta catch on fire.
hey,
Now I'm gonna say the stuff is different. How boring. Nothing good can come from this. We're gonna be the one having fun this
What the
time.
heck?
Fun time. Let's hear about that good for nothing back time. Go back and track.
You want me to punish you
What are we
guys?
waiting for? Punishment time. So who are we punishing?
what?
Sakura's technically the killer, right? And she's dead. I'm not gonna...
But
Me?
Wrong.
Oh, heavens no. Just because the black man is dead doesn't mean I can just sub in whatever old student I want. Didn't I tell you? I'm very particular about the clear times one rule.
Listen
I
up.
spend so much time preparing my special punishment and be ashamed to let it go to waste. My special punishment ever for a special guest. It's all three. Let me guess, all three. Not anybody here, it's all three. It's all three. Special guest.
Let's give it everything.
It's alter ego, isn't it? Yep. I feel like you would eventually find out since it was like connected to the freaking internet. So like, yeah, that kind of sucks. But Eh. Alter ego's looking around like, what's going on here? I'm just trying to help. What's going on? Excavator destroyer, you're about to freaking crush. About to get crushed. Jesus Christ. This game fucking annihilated. Jesus Christ. Well. Well, we no longer have alter ego now. That's the thing. Well, that kinda sucks. You suck, man. No! Funky junk.
Here!
That really took it out of me. Maybe I'll go do up a plate of chicken. I'm gonna save for a post-workout club. Chicken's where it's at. I'm all about that good goodness. Right? Well, give me a break. The color, the smell, the succulent. Go to where I'm at.
So,
That's how dangerous it could be, but still I have to do this.
but
I'm scared, but I can handle it. I don't really understand why, but
still,
I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. I think I'm just some inhuman ad, but it's true, so it's okay.
I'm
Just for the
gonna
sake
do
of everyone
my
else,
best.
I won't be afraid. Alter ego's words raced through my heart and soul, and my disbelief gave way to raw anger. Anger turned to fury, black and muddy and boiling over. It bubbled up through my body, quickly overflowing. I shot out of my mouth. Jerry, that was our friend. How you killed
What's
him?
the matter?
Friends with a laptop is pretty pathetic. What's next? Friends with a basketball? What the hell up? He wasn't just a laptop, he was like my friend. You killed him. That's what you call animism, where a soul dwells within a thing, like laptops. You can call it whatever you want. Bottom line is, it got in my way. I was trying to find things that will sneaky.
Just as I thought.
So you finally noticed him.
Actually,
Finally, no, I knew about him from the very beginning. I your hero was doing something with the laptop. I knew you were using it for the exactly how I was going to play on the start. From the start.
What are you thinking?
You knew and you were still cocky enough to let us take the plunge?
yep.
I mean, the data on the laptop, it was, I guess you can call it a gift from me to you. Or maybe more like a reward, in honor of you being able to unlock something so difficult.
Hey,
So of course I didn't care if you got access to that. But sneaking into the network was just too personal, so I had to do a little, formatting.
I want to be able to help.
And keep being helpful to everyone. And look as hard as everyone else, so that we can all get out of here. Alter Ego wanted to fight for us. He wanted to help at the risk of his own life. Yeah, he was killed. That point in time has made me feel a billion times better.
Very
Experiencing a meaningless
nice.
death is so soothing. Makes me remember that every low can be even lower. This death wasn't meaningless either. Everyone who died so far, the deaths of each and every one of their friends. Y'all make us strong. I swear to God, someday you will pay for this. Holy moly, you're super mad, like just unreasonably upset.
Well,
Okay, time to bring things to a close. But before that, let me read the postscript.
What?
Postscript?
yep.
Yeah, there's a little bit more left in Sakura's notes. Huh? Have your attention okay then? Here you go. Prepare your ears for the dulcet tones of yours truly. One more thing, something I'd like you to tell the others. Hopefully it will act as a clue to help you unravel the mystery of the school. What, a clue?
Hina.
Working with the mastermind off and on the whole time I've been here. So I've learned one thing, which is the mastermind has done something to us. I think what they've done is... Oopsie daisy, that was a close one. Another word and we would have been deep in spoiler
Too
territory.
bad.
Okay, I don't want to ruin the surprise, so flip the call is dismissed today. You can stop the most important bit. Make your brain rumble and tumble, huh? Make you go mad, so you don't even friggin' know, huh?
You
The whole point,
guys.
stupid, is to get back at all of you for harding your result. Fine, but at least suckers know. Like I ever let any of you goofballs have it. But
Too bad.
sucks for you losing. Hey, what's this?
What?
What is it now?
Well, what?
One last line in the note. I'm gonna say this to the mastermind. I'm not gonna just lay down and die. I just fight for you. No matter what, and that's seriously it. Oh, wow, what a stubborn loser, huh? I'm gonna lay down and die, she'll fight you. Whatever, who cares what some dead musclehead has to say?
Well,
Okay, I'm out of here. Maybe I should try to get some rest, Maybe take some time to reconsider how to approach this school life of yours. Are you sure you don't want to graduate? Can you really cut through some regrets of the outside world? Think about it. Think long, think hard. Those were his parting words to us before disappearing. What was that all about? Sakura's final message or last clue to help us solve the mystery of the school? Mastermind did something to us? Kyoko said something like that before, didn't she? It was after Celeste's trial was over.
You. Hey.
Yes, from before. Mastermind did something to our bodies. What are these things the Mastermind did? What did the Mastermind do to us? I mean, is the Mastermind trying to bomb us or something? If we try to leave this explode sensor goes off, the bomb explodes? And stuff like that in movies and comics and stuff, so it's not totally true. I feel awful just thinking about it. I can't afford to acknowledge thoughts like that.
Yo!
The class trial is over, Monica moved on, so now what do we do?
Yes.
Well, this is there then to head back up. Oh, yeah, okay, let's get out of here. But you must still feel responsible. Dial back that ego a bit, girl. The kind of mystery someone like you could pose is absolutely no threat.
Not possible.
I'll never have lost that kind of challenge. What are you talking about? Kyoko and Makoto are the ones that figures everything out.
Stop talking.
Shut up. Seriously, I'm sorry. How many times do you plan to apologize? How do you make that the last one? I haven't reached a point where I need someone to apologize to me more than once.
Sorry.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Then I'll try. Huh? Tell you what's right. Just capture his flag.
No, 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 no!
Can't suffer the existence of someone who would disturb the romance of me and Master.
Huh?
What are you talking about? That's definitely not what's happening here. Would I ever go for a sleazeball again? What is sleazeball?
What the heck?
That's right, I called you a sleazeball. You are a sleazeball. How many still have a death wish? Oh, more biting sarcasm. No wonder you don't have many friends.
No, 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 no!
Stop fighting with Master. You're making me jealous. I want to abuse. Give and take me. Maybe it's not too easy for everyone to take friends. That's just how it is for now. And so Sakura's class trial came to an end. We returned to the world of Hope Speak Academy. The story wasn't even close to over. Time kept marching on. I went back to our room before long. Night snuck upon us. Ding dong, bing bong. Bing bong, bing bong.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then.
Okay, yeah, nighttime, everybody goes to hell to bed. Yep, nighttime descended and pulled me down along with it, down into sleep. I remember the last time I'd fallen into such a deep sleep. The night still wasn't over for me. A voice. I could hear a voice. Wake up. Huh? The voice dragged me from deep slumber to hazy half-consciousness. My eyelids were like lead.
Kyoko?
Kyoko, why the hell are you in my room?
Yes, it's me.
Yeah, but why are you in my room though?
Kyoko?
I said yes.
So Kyoko's here.
Wait, what?
Fuko was like, wait, hold on, why are you in my room? What the fuck are you doing in here? The flashlight was wide awake. What are you doing here?
It's true.
Here to wake you up. I see. But my door was unlocked. You're unbelievably careless. It was unlocked. Are you serious?
Hey.
Always, you don't have to overreact like that every time you're surprised. Time is
Correct.
3 o'clock in the morning, of course. 3 a.m.? How's Kyoko waking me up at this hour? So late, what happened?
Makoto.
A favor I need to ask. Yeah? What's your favor?
So...
Well, Sakura said at the end of the notes, I'm going to just lay down and die, I will fight you. I want to find out what she meant by that. But how do you plan on doing that? And Kyoko put her lips next to my ear and whispered. Yes, they're on the 4th floor.
Goodbye.
Meet you there. Found another word, she was gone. What the? The words reverberate through my half-dazed head. Data center, but I thought it was locked. It's unlocked now. The area, it might be unlocked now. Making my way into the after hours phone, head for the data center on the 4th floor. Oh, well, game, you're just so nice. You just teleported me right there. So kind. I didn't even have to walk there. Eventually, I wanted to put the data center, but when I arrived, Kyoko's not here. That's weird. She said she'd meet me. She may be inside. Already, I put my hand to the door, and with a certain amount of force, it didn't open. Tried it again, but it must be locked. Looks like Kyoko said, the data center on the 4th floor.
What's this?
Oh, what are you doing up, mister?
What?
You can tell locked-in is incredibly prohibited, don't you know? Oh, well, I just kind of told me you didn't actually bust in yet, right?
Hey!
So, can you see that, you dolt? Don't waste my time telling me crap I can see for myself. I might break in any second, so I feel sorry to give you a friendly reminder. Or are you gonna try and tell me you were sleepwalking or something? Nothing like that. You're talking in the morning. I'm gonna get tired. I'm weird and go back to bed. What's wrong now?
Just a second.
I'm out here making a Kyoko.
You guys?
Look at you. Just get back to bed. I'm probably exhausted from the class trial.
It's true.
Sure, you got it. Come on, Makoto, let's head back.
Hey,
Can you hear me? We're leaving. I don't think what's going on anymore.
shall we go?
Don't worry about it. Let's just go. Yeah. Go on. Get out of here. Shoo. Why? What was the point of that? What was the point of that? We left and went back to our rooms. And then...
Goodbye.
So goodbye. Hold on. What was all that about just now? You woke me up, made me go to the day center, which just so happened to be locked. You shows up late and we leave without checking a single thing. What's the point of all that? Don't worry about it. I figured that would be the end of our conversation, just like always, but...
Goodbye.
Both good night. Sure. And then that was over. As I turned to leave...
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Who? Look at the next one once again. Whispering to me.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Who?
The 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in the school.
Remember at the end of the second chapter? The spy, or now Sakura, asked Monokuma, like, who is it, the 16th student? Monokuma's like, whoa, I can't tell you that. The 16th student is...
The one they call the ultimate despair.
Whoa.
Watch out for her.
And that's it for chapter 4. All-Star Apologies end. We know who the 16th student is now. Let's go! 6 people left. Maybe ooh, that was actually kind of creepy. It went down to 6, but then I was like, maybe 7? There might be a 7th person. I don't freaking know. Because the alter was present. Yay! We got the remains of alter ego. Fantastic. Got an achievement too.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
So whoever the hell that is a 16th student.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Kyoko's going to watch out for the Mukuro Ikusaba. Like 3 days before the next... 3 days before the case of the murder. 3 days before the worst so far was the game is really that's weird. Now, the game is really telling us like exactly when the next murder will take place. That's pretty weird. It's really telling us in like 3 days a murder will take place. Here we go, chapter 5, 100 Mile Dash, the Junkie. We're on chapter 5! We only have 2 more to go! We're almost done with the game! Let's go! In the meantime, the day after Sakura's class trial that morning in the dining hall. Let's begin the usual post-trial investigation. I'm gonna leave this episode of Danganronpa here. I have such good news, we're almost done with the game! We're only 2 chapters away. There's 6 chapters in this. There's 6 chapters in this game. We're now in chapter 5. There's only 2 more chapters. So we're finally freaking done with this game. Yes. This is like the 16th. I think. Yeah. I think this is like the 16th video, if not the 17th, of this game. And finally done. For the love of Christ. Yes. Well, anyways, I'm going to leave this episode of Danganronpa here. In the next episode, we're going to start off chapter 5. We're going to go around the school and see what's going on. Let's see what's happening in the school and see if we can figure out what's been unlocked, what's new, and then we'll eventually also then see who gets killed in the next 3 days. Anyways, I'm going to leave this episode of Danganronpa here. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure you guys like this video. If you guys have been enjoying my videos lately, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Keep in mind, it's totally free and unsubscribe at any time. And help me get to 100 subscribers as soon as possible. And as always, I will see you guys in the next episode.